It's Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk about drugs, and the thing is, I got a comment, and it reminded me about how the drug situation screws things up. But something that many people, say most people, matter of fact, don't understand is drugs will change your life. And the thing was on the school shootings where I got the comment. And the first thing is, when I was training SWAT teams, I was in counterterrorism. I specialized in hostage rescue. I studied school shootings, and up to that time, every school shooting, every school shooting was done by someone that was either on medication, legal, or they used to be when they were younger, where it was on legal or illegal medication, drugs of some type, and it changed their minds. Their minds couldn't figure things out. Reality was a little tough on them, and this is what causes school shootings. Now, there's no doubt about it. No doubt at all. Now, I'm not saying that's the only thing, because the drugs, legal or not, weakens the mind, and it screws up your spirit. You just don't. And I know that's way above our, because most people don't even understand what chi, the spirit, and all this type of stuff is. But all this stuff makes you who you are. When you take any kind of medication, legal or not, it's going to screw up your sense of well-being. Okay, now what's happened, and then when you add, video games, movies, I tell you, I've got to deal with so many people that think they know something about guns and shooting because they've watched TV, or they've gone to the range, or they've done this kind of crap. It just boggles my mind how people really believe that they're getting any substantial worth out of this stuff. If you just come with me on any of my adventures, and you're going to find out everything you've seen on TV. All your training, going to the range doesn't mount up to shit. Reality is completely different. Okay, so in other words, even TV and this type of stuff will affect it. But that's normally when you're younger. But depending on how much you focus on this stuff, you might be addicted to this kind of stuff. Well, then that's another. You're bringing up. We talked about addictions. That'll alter your mind also. But I'll tell you the thing, and as bad as all that sounds, it's even worse. It's worse than that. And the reason I say that is in the 60s. In the 60s, we were going through our turmoils, all what do you call it? Generations, I guess, have their things that they've got to go through. And I personally did not do any drugs. I want to do a little bit of thing on this. And what happened, I dealt with all of the situations that I got into, and I got videos talking about all the crap that I've gone through. But anyway, and going to Vietnam, I lived in the jungle for 13 months, and I lived, and it's where I did my fighting, and I did all this kind of stuff. Now, the thing is, I will admit, the last 6 months, I started on marijuana. And that may have done something even to me. But what I wanted to talk about is in the 60s and 70s, the youth, like myself, many, not a lot, not like most, I doubt if it was most of the population, but many of the population was on some type of drugs. At that time, I would say illegal. Nowadays, they put the drugs in all these young people, and a lot of it's in our food and stuff like that. But I say, in the 60s and 70s, these dope heads were taking drugs, screwing up their minds, and now those same dope heads are making laws. They're government officials. They work for the government. They're making regulations. They're making, they're running our government. They're running our law enforcement. And so their minds were twisted in that. So these are the people that made gun-free zones schools. They set our children up to be victimized. These same warped mind people, they don't have the idea of reality, are the ones that would want to do gun control. They blame it on the gun. See, they weren't capable of taking personal responsibility, so they blame it on somebody else or something else. And they continue that in their adult life, and they push it on other people. I wonder how many of these people, when you look at these, the judges that come up with these crazy opinions, of course we know our elected officials that come up with the weird stuff. I mean, they say, well, we got to, this isn't a Christian nation. We don't need the Constitution. The people that talk like that, there's something wrong with them. I wonder if they had drugs of some type in their youth where they weren't capable of understanding reality. They say, well, we need socialism. Okay, we need communism. We need to let the boys and girls all use the same restroom. No direction. I wonder, do these people, have they taken drugs sometime in their life? It just, those people are the problem. By listening to those few people can screw things up. And it seems like they think, we're right back again, in their warped minds, that they know better than us. And I would like to know, where they came up with that idea, because I see a lot of misguided thoughts coming out of our government, local, state, and federal. They're not taking personal responsibility. People are not being held accountable. People are not being prosecuted for crimes at the minimum. And I see many examples of treason that need to be handled. And maybe those people are going to try to use drugs as an excuse. But it's no excuse. It's an explanation on why they're not right. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.